Dear Princess Celestia, Have you ever wondered what it's like to kill another pony? Wow, right there, that means I can never send any of these letters, but I don't know. I just feel like writing my thoughts out on this. I suppose it's my scientific and analytical mind that brought this on. I have to keep my thoughts on this matter organized and, well, I have always felt most organized when I'm writing to you about what I'm feeling. Well, you're probably wondering what brought this on. It was nothing special, really. It all began when I was scanning the library shelves for something to read. I came across this book called The Anthology of Evil, Equestria's Most Notorious Killers. Well, I had never read a book like that before, and seeing as how I'm a student of learning itself, I took it off the bookshelf at once. What I read disturbed me at the same time as it fascinated me. I think the description of the Canterlot Killer's murder of the family of 4 disturbed me the most. I mean, what drives a pony to do something like that? Well, that is exactly what I'm asking myself these days. What goes through a pony's mind that makes them want to kill another living being? Why do they feel like they need to tear the life away from an innocent pony? What goes through their mind as they watch their victims take their final breath, knowing that they're the reason behind it? I don't know why, but it's torturing me, not knowing the answers to any of these questions. Normally, I just look it up in a book, but none of the stories had any interviews with the killers themselves. They were all executed, and the interviews they had with you before their executions aren't public records. I'd like to ask you for them, but I don't think you'd be very keen on letting me read them without a really good reason. I don't think you'd ever let any pony read them, which is unfortunate. I want to know why. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm writing to tell you about a dream I had last night. I had just finished rereading the book about the killers again before bed, so that's probably what brought this dream on. I dreamt that I was standing in my basement with Pinkie Pie strapped to the table. She was crying and her mane was flat, which was confusing to me since she's always so full of life and her hair is so vibrant. I remember that her hind leg was bleeding. At first, I was confused as to why her leg was bleeding, but then I looked down and saw that I was holding a bloody knife. Well, it wouldn't take Starswirl the Bearded to deduce that I was the one who had cut open her leg. I don't know why I did it. I suppose that it's just the nature of dreams. You do things you don't normally do, but I did it. However, I wasn't done with her. I cut off her left ear and my cutie mark with the knife. You wouldn't believe how much blood there was. It was really fascinating. She was begging and pleading for me to stop. "Twilight," she would say. "Why? I thought you were my friend. I thought you liked my parties." "I love your parties, and I love you as a friend," I responded. "But this is for science, Pinkie Pie. Doesn't that make you happy, knowing you're part of something larger than yourself?" Well, she kept on crying and bleeding right up to the point where I ended it all and stabbed her in the heart. I woke up directly after that covered in sweat, just like I had been covered in Pinkie Pie's blood. It took me a few seconds to register the fact that I hadn't actually killed Pinkie Pie, that I wasn't a monster who would betray her friends like that. But why didn't I feel bad about the dream? Normally when I dream about doing something bad to other ponies, I feel terrible afterwards, like the scum of Equestria, even though it was only a dream. So why was that dream so exhilarating? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, more dreams like the one before, only this time I killed Applejack. This is the 3rd such dream I've had this week. The worst part is, I know I should feel bad about these dreams. Or should I? They are only dreams after all, so why do I keep having them over and over again? Although, it's not even that that's bothering me. What's bothering me is I almost can't wait to go to sleep at night because I'm almost excited to have another one of those dreams. Is something wrong with me? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm writing this in my bathroom where I've locked myself in and I'm never ever coming out! I'm not fit to be around any pony ever again! You're probably wondering what brought this about. Well, I'll tell you, of course. I was at the spa today with Rarity, Pinkie Pie, and Fluttershy, and I just snapped. What do I mean by that? Well, I almost killed Rarity. See, Aloe had left to go get some more beauty products for Rarity's hair, and I saw her file on the train next to a reclining Rarity. I just had to kill her. It wasn't a curiosity issue this time. It was a need. I needed to kill her. I needed to take that hoof file and stab her in the throat. Let your life drain away before me. I imagined she would have a look of utter betrayal and horror on her face as the last thing she would see would be me standing over her. I imagined that I would look very pleased with myself somehow. Do you know what the worst part was? I actually reached for the hoof file. I fired my horn up and picked up the hoof file. It would have only taken one swipe with it, and that would be it. She would be gone forever. No more Rarity. Well, naturally, Fluttershy asked me what I was doing, and I immediately dropped the file and ran. I had to get out of there. I had almost done it. If Fluttershy hadn't interfered then, I would have killed Rarity. I'm not fit to be around civilization. I should just sit here and wallow in my misery forever. Then I can't hurt any pony. Your evil and insane student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, sorry about that last letter. You know how overly dramatic I can get. Don't worry, I didn't spend more than 16 hours in the bathroom before I came to my senses. Usually when I freak out like that, it's longer. I replayed the events of yesterday in my mind over and over again, analyzing the different scenarios if I had actually killed one of my best friends. Would I have attempted to escape, or would I have given myself up then and there? Would I have moved on to Pinkie and Fluttershy before taking out Aloe and Lotus? Oh, the possibilities were endless. But no, I can't think like that. I can't think like this at all. I can't kill any pony. It would be the ultimate act of evil, but why is that so appealing? It seems so much more because of how forbidden it is. You don't kill another pony. You don't even think about it. End of story. But the fact remains that I'm thinking about it and I want to do it. I don't know what brought this on. I've been pondering that ever since my first dream. But the urge is there. I don't know why, but it's there. What's worse is that it is powerful. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, more dreams have come. I find myself falling asleep halfway through the day, only to find myself in dreamland standing over one of my friends with a knife. It's gotten to the point where I can almost feel the vibrations of the blade as it pierces the flesh of my friends. It was Rarity again last night. I sawed off her horn and used it to stab her in the heart. I know it's only a dream, but I find myself liking the idea more and more. But I can't do something like that. After the incident with Rarity, I've shut myself off from the rest of the world. I haven't seen another pony in about a week now. I spend most of my time rereading that book and combing the library, hoping to find a book or a stack of old papers that will give me some clue about why a killer does what he does. If I can just answer that question, then maybe the dreams will stop and I can go back to normal. But I have found nothing, and as such, the questions of why and what it is like are still burned into my skull, consuming my entire being. I am finding the only thing that is keeping me going is the thought of murdering another pony. Should I actually go ahead and do it? Maybe then these dreams and thoughts will stop. If I answer those burning questions, then maybe I can move on and never speak of this again. I will merely add it to the vast arsenal of knowledge, and I can move on to other topics that I know nothing about. I suppose that is why this is bothering me so much. I don't know anything about it, and it's going to take more than a book to fix that. There is no simple solution to my questions. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I'm so sorry, but I have decided to take a leap of faith and kill another pony. Wow, even writing that I feel a rush of excitement. It's like discovering a new spell that no pony has ever thought of before. It's quite an exciting prospect. Of course, there's a lot of planning that has to go into something like this. I mean, you'd kill me if you ever found out, literally. So I have to be extra careful. Do know that I undertake this endeavor with the most seriousness. I would not do it if I hadn't thought out every detail, every pro and con. I made a 36-page list about it, and I came to the irreversible conclusion that this must be done. I have been having the dreams and urges for 2.5 solid months, and I think this is the only way to make them stop. If I decide to kill in a controlled environment, then I can avoid doing something stupid. I mean, I almost killed Rarity that one day, and another day when Derpy came along, I almost killed her too. No, I have to be more careful than that. I have planned this out down to the last detail. Nothing can go wrong. I'm sure of it. I've planned for everything. Once again, I'm so sorry. I know you see all ponies as like your children, so what I'm about to do would be akin to murdering one of your children, but it must be done. If not for my thirst for knowledge, then so my dreams can finally stop and I can go back to living life. Spike is getting worried about me. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. This is a recording of the murder committed by Twilight Sparkle.
Hello. This is Twilight Sparkle. I'm recording this in the basement of the Golden Oaks Library on April 10th of the year 2301 at 10:23 p.m. I acquired the pony, whom I've decided to call Subject 1, 3 hours ago, and I am currently waiting for her to wake up. The subject is a female Pegasus with a light blue coat and a dark green mane. She has a simple camera as her cutie mark. The subject appears to be somewhere between the ages of 16 and 18 years old. She's strapped down to the table and...
What? Where am I? What's going on? Why am I strapped down like this? Who are you? What are you doing?
And I thought I was the inquisitive one.
Please, let me go. Whatever I did to you, I'm really sorry.
Oh, you didn't do anything. I guess you were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, which is fortunate for me because you look like the perfect subject.
Subject? No, I don't understand. What do you mean, subject?
Oh, that's right. You wouldn't know, would you? Well, to put it simply, I'm doing an experiment of what it's like to kill some pony, and you are my test subject. Does that answer your question?
Is this some kind of joke or something?
No, I'm afraid not.
Look, you don't have to do this. You can just let me go and we can forget all about this. I can go back to my life and you can go back to yours and we'll just part ways.
Well, yes, we could do that. However, I don't want to. I have to know what it's like to kill another pony. I'll go nuts if I don't. Don't be sad. I promise you that it won't take too long. Are you a bad pony?
A bad pony? No, I didn't do anything to deserve this.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Your soul will go to paradise and I will have my answers. We both win. But I'm afraid that we have to get started now.
Please don't do this.
decided to begin by making an incision in the middle of Subject 1's left foreleg. There are no major blood vessels there, so I can get a basic understanding of Subject 1's tolerance for pain.
Please don't do this. I'll do anything to...
Subject 1 clearly has a low tolerance for pain, as the cut in her foreleg is only a millimeter or so deep. However, the screams might be more terror than pain. I'm not quite sure one way or the other. How am I feeling, though? Well, I don't really feel bad about it. My ears kind of hurt from the yelling, but she seems to be calming down a bit now. I'm not quite getting the rush I expected when I first planned this out, but then again, we haven't really gotten to the detailed parts quite yet.
Please, let me go. I'll do whatever you want me to. Just let me go.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I mean, you turned me in right away, and I'd be in big trouble, so frankly, I have better odds of getting away with this without incident if I just keep you here. I'm sorry, but I just can't stop now. Now then, I'm going to continue with a long cut along the stomach of Subject 1. The blood should flow more freely, and it will be a good starting point if I want to examine her insides at a later juncture. That's a lot more blood than I thought would have come out. I think I must have cut a little too deep. Oh, she's bleeding all over the floor. I should have planned for that. Maybe Wow, that's a lot of blood. Oh, Celestia, what am I doing? No, I have to keep going with this. If I quit now, I'll just get in trouble, and that will be the end of my advanced studies. Okay, Twilight, focus. You just gotta focus on the...
Please let me go. I want to go home. I want to go home. My baby sister's gonna miss me if I'm not home in time to tuck her in the bed. I need to tuck my sister in the bed. She's gonna...
Time of death of Subject 1 is 10:56. I decided to end it quickly because I realized that I started this to see what it was like to kill a pony, not torture one. I don't know why. I didn't just do that to begin with. I didn't need to make those first two cuts. I could have just stabbed her in the heart from the beginning and gotten the same result. Aside from that, how am I feeling? Well, empty.
Dear Princess Celestia, I wrapped Subject 1 in a tarp and buried her behind the library. Dear Princess Celestia, it has been 1 week since the death of Subject 1, and I think I've just about gotten over the shock of what I've done. I expected that once the shock wore off, that I'd feel something, anything, but I don't. In fact, I don't even feel worse. The empty feeling that I got directly after the kill is gone. I just feel like Twilight Sparkle. Does that mean I'm going to kill again? No. I don't think that I will. Once was enough. Your murderer of a student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I think I'm gonna stop writing these letters now. I mean, what else is there to say? I killed Subject 1, I don't feel bad about it, and thus I've answered all my questions. I suppose I just have to move on to the next subject now. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, Okay, I know that I said I was done with these letters, but I think I may have a huge problem on my hooves. I think Fluttershy knows what I've done. How do I know? Well, I don't really. To make a long story short, her, Rarity, and myself were at the spa again. I am happy to state that I didn't have an urge to kill Rarity this time, when Fluttershy shot this look at me. I've never seen a look like that on Fluttershy's face before, but I just couldn't help but shake the feeling that it said, "I know what you've done, you monster." It was this kind of sad glare that hit me right where I live. Maybe I imagined it, but I have to keep an eye on Fluttershy. If she truly does know what I did, then maybe she told other ponies about it, and if other ponies know, then well, I'm finished, aren't I? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, well, I decided to talk to Fluttershy today. Or rather, I decided to have tea with her to see what she knows. It was a simple little get-together, like we've done 1,000,000 times now. Only this time, I went to see if she truly does know what I've done. My conclusion? Well, I don't have one. She didn't really say anything that indicated she knows one way or the other. She mostly just talked about how her animal friends are doing, even when I tried to steer the conversation to what she thought about me. I asked her that, what she thought about me as a pony, and she assured me that I'm a wonderful pony whom she is honored to call her friend. However, I noticed that look again. Am I imagining it? I don't know, but if she does know, she's hiding it. I don't know how she could have figured it out. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, what have I done? I killed her! I killed another pony as of some right to discover what it was like! My curiosity is no justification for the ultimate act of evil that I committed! She had a baby sister who was doubtlessly confused and hurt that her sister just disappeared like she did. I can only imagine what she would feel like if she ever found out that I killed her sister. I played creator and I took away life without any reason to do so. I would turn myself in now, but I'm scared, Princess. I'm really, really scared. I think I'm going to go to Tartarus for what I've done. I didn't mean to. The water damage to the rest of the letter was too severe. Salvaging the remains was impossible. Dear Princess Celestia, sorry for freaking out like that with my last letter. I cried all over it. Can you believe that? I have to learn to control my emotions better if I'm going to continue to live life as if I hadn't done it at all. I'm starting to doubt that Fluttershy knows. I mean, surely she would have confronted me with this by now, or at the very least turned me in. But then again, Fluttershy doesn't like conflict. If I simply came out and told Fluttershy what I had done, then she probably wouldn't cause a big ruckus about it. But then again, she would probably ignore me and do her best to stay away from me if she did know. Until I know for sure, I can only live my life as normally as possible. Spike doesn't seem to know, so that makes things simpler. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, am I going mad? I thought I got away with it, but did some ponies see me bury Subject 1 behind the library? At first I thought that Fluttershy was the only one who could possibly know, but I was at Sugar Cube Corner today and Mrs. Cake gave me that same look! It didn't stop with her though. I kept getting that same disappointed glare from half the ponies in town today. If all of them know, then why haven't they gone screaming to the police yet? It doesn't make sense that I'm just imagining their glares, but I can't think of any other reason for why they keep looking at me like that. I'm either going mad or they know. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, I feel sick. I haven't eaten in a few days and sleep has been even rarer. Every time I close my eyes, I see the face of Subject 1 staring at me, pleading me not to kill her. I'm beginning to wish that I could take it all back. that I could resurrect Subject 1 so she can go home and be with her sister, but I can't. I can't bring her back. I can't erase what I've done. I've considered performing a memory spell, but I can't cast it on myself and another unicorn would need to know what memory they were going to erase, or, at the very least, why. That would give me away. I can't risk any pony finding out. I imagine even Rainbow Dash would turn me in if she ever found out what I've done. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, they know! They all know! I went outside today and I got a glare from every pony, and I mean every pony! They all stopped and glared at me, silently judging me for what I did. I wanted to scream at them to stop. I wanted to cry out that I was sorry and that they shouldn't blame me for what I did. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. Well, needless to say, I haven't been outside since. Every time I peek outside, there's always some pony who glares at me. I'm getting to see glares in my sleep, if that makes any sense at all. I can feel the piercing gazes following me wherever I go, silently telling me what I already know. That I'm evil, plain and simple. I took the life of another pony. There is no higher crime in our land. It's only a matter of time before one of them snaps and turns me in. I can only ask that you don't think too low of me as you watch the hangmare's noose tighten around my neck. Your student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, have you ever wondered what it's like to kill 2 ponies? I know this sounds crazy, but I kind of want to do it again. I almost feel that it is in my best interests if I kill another pony, because if the town does know, that means that they'll find out if I do it again. This kill could be a message to all of them that I'll kill them if they interfere. Their glares have not gone away, and I think this may be the only way to stop them. Even Spike knows now. Should he be the one I kill? If I tell them all that I'm willing to kill the closest to me, to keep every pony quiet, then they'll keep quiet! Or will they turn me in instead? I don't know what to do, but the urge to kill is once again rising inside of me. With the judging glares are mixed with parasitic urges to kill again. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Dear Princess Celestia, what a relief! No pony knew about what I had done! The bad news? They all do now. How do they know? Well, I attacked Rainbow Dash. I found out that no pony knew when my friends came to see how I was doing. Applejack said something about how I didn't look too good. An understatement if my reflection is any indication. And how they are all worried about me because I haven't been outside the library for 3 weeks now and I've been refusing to talk to any of them about it. If they tell me stuff like that, then they certainly don't know about what I've done. I was so relieved that I attacked Rainbow Dash. I suppose that with the nervousness of the glares gone, that my urge to kill skyrocketed now that I believed I could get away with it whenever I wanted. I was right. The look of betrayal on her face was something to behold. Applejack bucked me off for the second that she realized what was going on. I have quite the bruise from that. She began yelling something at me about how I betrayed Rainbow's trust by going at her with a knife and that she might turn me in and have me arrested. In a moment of weakness, I told them all. I don't know why, but I just snapped. I just said it right there. I killed a pony. The others didn't believe me at first. Said that I was sick and that I needed to lie down. Fluttershy even said she would bring me some carrot soup and that would make me feel better. I can't feel better though, and I never can again. Not only did I tell them what I did, but I showed them as well. I dug up Subject 1 and presented it to them, like a filly would present a science project to her teacher. None of them really knew what to think at first. They all just stared silently at the mostly decomposed corpse of Subject 1. Even with the amount of decay, it was still obvious that something had stabbed her. Pinky was the first to leave. She didn't say a word. She just walked away. I don't know where she went or what she did, but she just left. Where Rarity and Fluttershy left me after that. Rarity was silent, but Fluttershy was openly crying. I wanted to comfort her, to tell her that this was just a moment of weakness and I was not a monster. But I am a monster, and this is my reward for that. I think what hurt the most was seeing their faces. I didn't know that ponies could look so betrayed and horrified. Applejack and Rainbow Dash both hit me before they ran off. I can only assume that they're going to turn me in. I expect the police at any moment. Princess, even though I'm never going to send these letters, I see this one as a final friendship report. I learned that if you commit a heinous enough crime that your friends will leave you. It'll hurt them, but they won't stand by you. It's only what I deserve. For the last time, your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Princess Celestia put down the final letter, just as the sun reached out to her, telling her that it was time for it to go to sleep for the night. Celestia gently put the letter down and looked out the window, hoping that the images before her were merely a nightmare, and she would wake up to discover that this horrible reality was not just that. However, she knew that she would remember the image of the 2 grounds ponies putting the final nail in the small coffin, right underneath the gallows that had not been used in decades until today. Celestia heard the door open behind her, and in a few moments, she saw her sister was beside her. Luna nuzzled her sister, hoping to comfort her in one of the worst hours of her life. Luna looked up at her older sister. She was always so regal, so collected, even in the darkest hours. However, the look of utter helplessness in her sister's eyes was unmistakable.